What's up, you filthy heretics? How you doing? My name is Asmogan, and I welcome you back to my channel. Today I'll be yet again talking about my father Primarch, Rogel Dorn, and the incident of the Iron Cage. Now, on to the lore dump. Rogel Dorn initially refused to bend the knee to Guilliman's codex, seeing it as a further division of their already crippled forces, which he was completely right about. Since Dorn was making too much sense, Guilliman jumped on Twitter and immediately started tweeting about how triggered he was at this, and that Dorn was a Nazi and a fascist, even though Guilliman was the one who propped himself up as the new dictator. Then Guilliman had the Imperial Navy fire a shot off upon Dorn's flagship, not even hesitating to threaten a second civil war immediately after the first. Gotta love the blue toilet bowl's Primarch, let me tell you. Huh? What? It appears I've been reminded that it is not canonically known whether or not the shot fired at Dorn's flagship was ordered by Guilliman. However, it is known to have been shot because of the Imperial Fist's resistance to the Codex. Anyway, after being pushed into a difficult position by Guilliman, Dorn decided to do what most would do in this scenario and meditate on his decision. But this is 40K, so it was done in literally the most edgy way possible. You see, Dorn had this device called the Pain Glove, which gives a pretty strong indication of what it does in the name. The Pain Glove essentially electrifies the nerve endings of its wearer, which causes extreme pain and agony. And Rogel Dorn used it to fucking mull things over. God, that's badass. After his meditation, Dorn made a clear and concise decision, one he thought was best, not only for the Imperium, but also himself and his sons. Dorn would agree to Guilliman's damned codex. Not because he was right, but because he knew his bureaucrat of a brother would have no qualms about starting a second civil war over his blasted codex. However, Dorn also knew his own sons would never kowtow to Guilliman's codex, even if he himself told them to. Most would resist with all their might, and the civil war Rogel hoped to avoid would happen all the same. Knowing this through the clarity of mind provided by the Pain Glove, Rogel gathered his forces and led them intentionally into a massacre, the assault of the Iron Cage, a defensive trap designed by Perturabo and his Iron Warriors. This trap specifically meant for the Imperial Fists and Rogel Dorn. It is not known what Dorn's exact plan was when he entered the Iron Cage. Did he intend merely to cripple his own legion's numbers and will, leaving them no choice but to obey the new codex? Or did he intend this massacre to go much, much further? Personally, I subscribe to the latter. I believe Dorn was so shattered by what he saw on the bridge of the Vengeful Spirit, and in addition, the very last thing he had left to care for was going to be torn from him by his own supposed brother, his very own sons, the Imperial Fists. I believe this would have at the very least led Dorn to toss all concern and caution to the wind. Whatever Dorn's intentions were, the Imperial Fist's fate was interrupted by Guilliman and his Ultramarines. Realizing what Dorn was doing, Guilliman had come to save the Imperial Fist from meeting their end. After all, it would have made the bureaucrat look bad if an entire legion had committed suicide, rather than accept his glorious new codex. After what remnants of the Imperial Fist Legion dragged themselves from the Iron Cage, even the most zealoted of them would have no choice but to adhere to this new codex. Dorn separated his sons into chapters: the Imperial Fists, the Crimson Fists, and the Black Templars. After this, there is not much to say in regards to poor Rogel. He lived and remained amongst the Imperium much longer than the majority of his brothers. However, Dorn would supposedly meet his end at the hands of the forces of chaos. Despite a glorious stand against the ruinous traitors, the Imperial Fists would uncover Dorn's hand as proof of his death. There are many who refuse to accept Dorn's death, believing he had simply whisked himself away, still serving the Emperor loyally and unquestionably, somewhere in the Greater Imperium, perhaps even within the walls of the Imperial Palace itself, watching over his father unwaveringly. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Warhammer 40K in a nutshell. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Leave a like down below and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Anyway, that's all from me. I will see you all next time. And remember, for the Imperium, my brothers.